up, Unstuckers? Welcome to another fabulous episode of Casual Friday, where we take a moment to have a mini mastermind to problem solve, set goals, and keep the ball rolling on our own businesses. This week on the podcast, back on Wednesday, we talked to Lei Wan about conquering her Everest and how you can conquer your Everest. So go back if you missed that episode and check it out. Without further ado, what up, Josh?
What up, Cel? How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. It's
Doing
almost
well?
Friday.
Is it,
Slash, it is Friday.
it is Friday?
So,
It feels casual, does it?
yeah, it does.
It's really snowy outside as we
Oh
record
my
this. Yeah,
god. I
it
want
just
snow.
started coming down.
Oh.
So it's very lovely. And yeah,
I'm
it's
going
a
to ask
good.
you to post a story after we record because I want to see snow.
Okay, I'll post a
Excellent.
story. There'll be a story on our Instagram of what New Mexico calls snow.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Josh. So, other
Yes.
than the snow thing and like being stuck in your house thing,
Mhm.
how'd your week go? Okay, I'm going to
Well,
time you.
yeah, you
Go.
ready? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you're ready. Go.
excellent. I don't know. I don't know if you're timing me or not. I'm just wasting time. I got plenty of time to waste because I don't have much to update on. I mean, I have a huge project that I said I'd do last week. I said I'd make a music video and turn it in by yesterday, Thursday. Guess what I did? I made a music video. Guess how
Yay!
late I was up Wednesday night
Oh god.
editing said music video. Um, I think I got home from work and started editing after dinner, so maybe around like 5:45, 6, and stopped editing and went to bed at 12:30.
That's late
So
for you.
it's very late for me, and also that's like 6.5, almost 7 hours of editing. And then I
Oh
woke
my
up the
god.
next morning and I ran out to get a couple of daytime shots that I needed because most of the shots were nighttime.
Yeah.
But I needed some daytime to make the magic happen. I'm basically starting the video in daytime and then like snapping to me at night, all like Christmased up, and so it's like Christmas magic. So I had to run out, get those shots real quick, come back, plug them in, did that.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and then I also had to, what do you call it? Foley is a term for adding sound effects to film. I had to Foley some sound effects for the daytime shot I did because like the sound I didn't have like it was just me and my iPhone and a tripod, so I didn't have like professional sound following me around or anything. Um, and in a music video, you normally don't care. So it was quite an adventure, quite a rush. I've had a very busy week, but I can also say that I've made a lot of money by fixing computers this week. For the
Yay!
first time in a while, I set boundaries with myself with my additional extracurricular pursuits. And I said, look, when I go to work, I go to work, and I'm going to help as many people as I can when they call during work time and work on JBit if they don't call. And when I am done with that, I will go home and do whatever I want, which this week, of course, is the music video. I got to tell you, I feel it was a busy week, sure. I had a big project to do outside of working a lot of hours during the day for IT stuff, but I feel good. I feel rested. I feel accomplished. I feel
That's good.
like, having two things as opposed to 5 to 10 things on my plate in a week turns out it's pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, so the music video, I had to turn that in for the variety show that was happening, and I'm also probably going to release it on winter solstice online because
Ooh,
it's kind of a winter solstice video, not a Christmas video. I'm like
cool.
giving too much away, but only you and I and the Unstuck audience know. That's the joke. Anyway, I don't remember if I mentioned last week. It's a silly song. It's not like a serious song. So
You weren't very descriptive
yeah.
at
So
all. Don't be.
I'm
I
not.
want to be
It's gonna be a whole
surprised.
surprise. So
Excellent.
I'll probably start setting up a release for that, and You may or may not hear my robot vacuum started up. It is super casual Friday. It's like entering the room, freaking the dog out.
Oh,
Um,
Penny doesn't like it either. Luna
no, she
Luna
just
doesn't like
watches
it.
it.
She also doesn't like it when I pick it up when it gets stuck someplace. She's like, "What are you doing to my friend?"
No, she likes it when I pick it up. She's like, "Good, get rid of that crap." Anyway,
Okay, so
sorry if there's
you
background
mentioned
noise.
that you focus better with two things. Is that going to be something that you try and do going forward and only having like one or two things on your plate?
Yeah, I think so. At least for the like the concentrated period of maybe like the week goals.
Okay.
Um, And so, for instance, when I try to do hardcore music stuff and podcast startup course stuff and IT stuff and nonprofit stuff, um, I drown and and things fall by the wayside, but not intentionally, right?
Yeah.
Versus I picked two things. I said I'm going to concentrate on answering the phone and showing up for people for IT, making some money that way. And not being stressed out like, oh, I got to get home and work on my art. you know?
Yeah.
um, and that worked really well, so I do think that's going to be the thing going forward, which kind of leads into what would you call it, the goals for this
Yeah.
week and as we go into holiday season. My goals is to have no goals, which is, I have goals, but my goal is to not set out to do anything for the rest of the calendar year because I'm going to shut down JBit during the holidays, like between Christmas and stuff.
That's 3 weeks of not doing anything, sir?
Oh, not nothing.
Okay.
Um, but
Okay.
like the extracurriculars, like I'm going to continue to show up and fix computers, for instance. But instead of saying like this week I'm going to relaunch the podcast course or this week I'm going to build this, I want to step back and give my brain time to percolate all the projects I have and decide what's important to me. And I
Yeah.
think the only way I can do that, well, the only way I usually do that is I take a trip, I take a vacation and completely unplug. I'm not traveling right now, so I think like I'm going to continue to work at computer fixing, but I'm not going to say I'm going to do something for the sake of doing it. I'm going to see what comes up because I'm a busybody. I'm going to do things.
Yeah.
I just want to see what comes up. What if I don't say now what's a priority? What becomes a priority? I think it's going to be um, more music stuff, which I've really been
Yeah.
enjoying. Um, but I want to like see what happens when I'm left to my own devices, as opposed to being like on a uh, money making trajectory. Now,
Yeah.
this goes against everything we've talked about on this podcast, right? So that's interesting. Um, because we talk about setting goals, having intentions, like say what you're going to do before you do it. Otherwise, you waste your time because you'll look back at what you did and it's not what you meant to do. Um, so this is definitely not a forever thing. It's just for a couple of weeks here and see what comes up. I'm going to try and learn a lot of things, that's probably my
Yeah.
realistic goal. That's what I'm going to do with my time, is as I've got some online courses I'm in the midst of that I could finish up, on all sorts of things, some related to the podcast course, some related to music, all this stuff. And so I think I'm just going to like input all this
Absorb.
information and absorb it, and then I'm going to see what comes out of that as like a New Year's kind of push and goal for January.
If you're doing that, I highly recommend the Enneagram course. Anagram,
Enneagram.
Enneagram, that
Yeah.
word. The Enneagram course
Yeah.
on Donald Miller's story brand thing. Like
Nice.
that is awesome. I mean, I'm sure you know something about it, but like he dives in so deep. He actually brings in a specialist, an Enneagram specialist, to talk
Nice.
about it, and it's deep. They're long videos and it's deep, but it's good. And I think working with people and like whether you're networking or whether you're working with clients or whatever industry you're in, it is beyond super valuable.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I needed, another course, so I'll check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, very cool. So that's kind of where I am. The music stuff is finished. I did a couple other music video type things, but not like full music videos, if you know what I mean. Like just
Hmm.
kind of set up an iPhone and I play into it. Um, with some friends remotely and stuff. So that was fun. That's going on TV locally here in New Mexico. So yeah, it's been a fun creative week and like business wise a money making week.
Dude,
I
that's
really
awesome.
got down to the budget of JBit for next year, looking at planning that out, and I was like, wow, my income can vary so widely if I work half a day or if I work a full day, you know,
Yeah.
and that's at this point I've built up the clientele that I can usually work a pretty good full day or more if I really want to. Um, so it's really up to me, you know, which is nice. It's a nice part about being a business owner.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like plugging in the numbers. Like if I fix 2 computers a day, right? What does that equal for the whole year? You know, and
Yeah.
just like changing these little parameters here and then expanding that out for the whole year could just like completely change my income. I mean, there are still definitely days, don't get me wrong, there's still definitely days where I don't have any calls.
Yeah.
That happens from time to time, but less and less. I really have a lot of people calling quite often.
That's good.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're
so
out of time, but I have a question
yeah.
in regards to that. So
Where's the timer sound? I want the like ding dongs.
that was ding ding dong dong.
Oh, it didn't go through your microphone at all.
Oh, it's very loud in my ears. um, so with that being said, though, could you maybe squish it down to a 4-day work week? Because like I know Mondays are busy because everything breaks over the weekend for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Could you maybe squish it down to a 4-day work week and then have 3 days like for creativity and side projects instead?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, the problem is computer emergencies happen when they happen, but
Yeah.
I was earlier in the year. I There was a consistent pattern, not my own choosing. I just didn't get calls on Fridays for like a month,
Oh,
so I
wow.
had like a month's worth of 4-day work weeks. I couldn't really plan on that, but that's just kind
Yeah.
of how it happened, you know. And that was nice, and that was kind of a thought I had at the time, which I forgot about. So good reminder. But
I mean, you're your own boss, right? I mean, yes, I
exactly
understand emergencies happen when emergencies happen, but if that's your off day, then that means you could potentially charge twice the amount on those days.
right. Or even if I charge regular rates because it's like a weekday and business people would be like, it's still Friday,
Yeah.
but maybe I don't set non-emergency appointments on Friday and I just answer the
Yeah.
phone on Friday. And if it's an emergency, I go. And if it's not, I say I'll schedule you for Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
That
idea.
might be
I
something to
like your
consider.
thinking. I like your thinking.
I
So
mean, that's always my goal, right? Not have to work on Friday. Fuck, it never happens.
yeah, I mean, if people have been listening to our or watching our Instagram stories and stuff, they see us checking in and working on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Like, eh. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that's my week. How about you, Chell? Let me get the timer out. Hold on.
Yeah,
Stand
get the
by.
timer out.
We got to have
I feel like
very rigid timer that we use here
for
at
the
the Unstuck
YouTubes, I
Institute.
need to show you what my week has been. It's look at that.
That
That's
is for those of you not watching on YouTube. That is giant amounts of double-sided paper with just copious amounts of
and
notes.
that.
It looks like you're either in the movie like A Perfect Mind or Good Will Hunting or something, or you're planning the demise of the entire world. I'm not sure whether
Probably
it's
closer to the
math
first one than the
or
latter.
yeah. It looks dangerous. It looks like the writings of a lunatic in a insane asylum. So
I
tell us
appreciate
what's
that.
on there.
Thank you. Okay, so I have been simplifying everything that I'm doing to take up like the least amount of like mental calories, right? So
Hmm.
I'm last week I was super stressed about Instagram, not
Hmm.
digging it.
Right.
I also mentioned last week that I was considering another business coach, and I said fuck it, and I went for it because she and I vibed, and I'm stoked about it. And I'll update you guys on that in a little bit. Um, in regards to my goals for last week, um, outreach every day. I'm still doing that. I'm doing it a little bit more purposefully though, which I'll also touch on in a little bit. And finishing that funnel video, I ended up redoing like all of the videos in the funnel because they look like shit. So now I'm actually like that's actually a product that I'm like proud to put out and potentially give to prospects who may need that help. So all good things there. Um, back to hiring a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
I mean, monetary investment, not much coming in right now. It's
Uh-huh.
fine,
Uh-huh.
but I think it's worth it. My mindset has changed completely this week, and I've only been through week one of her course.
You did it.
But
You hired her.
yeah, I did it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, I hired her because there is one-on-one sessions, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where I feel like I need the most help. Like group, fine, but I know I need hand-holding right now, and this is like the perfect fit. And with the other coach that I was working with, everything sounded very accusatory coming out of her mouth rather than
Right.
supportive.
Right.
So she's been a lot more supportive. She actually follows me on Instagram and comments on things that I'm doing and gives me suggestions like at the minute when it's happening. So that's
Nice.
been really unique and really cool.
Very cool. Yeah, it
Yeah,
sounds like a very engaged, personalized experience. So
yeah.
I hope you
And
learn a
the
lot. What have you learned this week in week one?
uh, so week one, I mean, mission, value, and like vision, right? But
Right.
I feel like everyone kind of starts there.
Right.
So I basically used the verbiage that I've learned from Donald Miller's course and kind of honed that in, refined that a little bit more. I've never actually written down the values for Wellness Cucina, so that was interesting to do.
Hmm.
Have you done that for JBit? Like your top five
Um,
values?
yes. But you can tell I review them often because
Yeah.
I think they exist.
So that was cool because I mean I know what my values are, but I've never like written them down and like thought
Right.
about them and how they relate to my business and how they would relate to me like interacting with prospects and clients. So
Mm-hmm.
that made me think outside the box, and I think that was really cool
Nice.
and valuable. And she also gave me we had a one-on-one session today, so she gave me some awesome info and looking like currently like at what people are struggling with, right? So like I need to help busy families, or rather I want to help busy families. So what are busy families struggling with right now? A lot of them are homeschooling and
Mm-hmm.
like just burnt out with having to cook after a long day of homeschooling or something along those lines. So she suggested that maybe I create some type of what's it called? I have it written down. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, that I create some type of course specifically for like stay-at-home parents and their kids, so that it can be integrated kind of into their schooling, so that
Mm.
like teaching them dinner or like teaching them how to make dinner or having them help make dinner is kind of like a piece of their schoolwork or something that they could like learn different things. So that might be something that I kind of start on, at least start ruminating on over the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be one of my goals. But I thought that was a really unique approach. Like I wouldn't have thought of that. My mind has been so set on like this is the course, I built it, I need to sell it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
not really like thinking outside the box. So I think I just needed to step back and be less um, stuck, not stuck on that, but I'm too close to it, right? So I needed to detach from that a little bit, you
Right.
know?
Sure.
So I think that's been really cool getting a different perspective from
Yeah.
someone who does this with a variety of different businesses and not just dietitians.
So
So
my
having,
question on building that course would be, what are you going to do to research how to integrate it into the schooling and the lifestyle? Because obviously you don't have a kid who's homeschooling right now,
yeah,
so you don't even have your own personal experience. So are you gonna
yeah.
do you have clients who are in that situation you could interview, or you already know some stuff from, or do you have any educators you could talk to about
I
schooling
probably
stuff?
do. I have to think about this. So we just had the conversation a couple of hours ago. So
Yeah.
between now and then, I haven't really like mulled this over very much. But
Right.
I think I mean, I have a decent amount of tasks that are age appropriate between like I would say like 5 and 12. So like the
Mm-hmm.
ages where like they could probably help out in the kitchen and their motor skills are pretty good. So I have
Mm-hmm.
a list of different tasks that can be done. So I think incorporating those in some way, shape, or form could be really helpful. Maybe for the younger kids, including some type of like counting,
Mm-hmm.
um, if appropriate, and then maybe for the older kids, the actual like act of doing it, right, and like understanding the nutrition or the health benefits behind it.
Right.
So it's going to be a pretty like simple short course, perhaps, or it could be weekly recipes, so like an email thing, where they're signed up for like a monthly membership, and every week I send out something that they can do with things that they may already have on hand, so that, like, I don't know, their chicken breast, their frozen broccoli, and their rice can become an awesome meal based off of like things that they have, and like giving them different skill sets to be able to do that based off what they already have. So I'm kind of debating between the two, if I need like a mini course, or if I need maybe just like emails that get shot out every week to busy stay-at-home moms, to kind of just get them in the mindset of like thinking outside the box and not being stuck on like, okay, well, tacos again, you know?
Hey, if anyone's complaining about tacos again, they can give
They're
me their
crazy.
tacos. They're fine with that.
Yeah. So I think it's just been really good to kind of think outside the box in this way. Um,
Do you have any New Year's selling plans? I just feel like your whole course is
my
ripe for the
niche.
New Year's resolution, you
Yeah. I don't, but I would love some brainstorm if you
know?
have anything.
Yeah. I mean, I just so it sounds kind of like you're building in some ways a mini course, which could be a great entry to someone who would eventually want to work with you on the full course and
Yeah.
coaching thing. So maybe it's that, or maybe it's something else, but it could be an interesting. Ooh, ooh, this could be an interesting email building kind of opportunity. Have people on your social media and your email list sign up for a separate email list, like a separate
Okay.
subsection,
Yeah.
and have like throughout January, like weekly or twice weekly emails that are like starting the New Year's off right challenge for
Okay.
busy families. Like it could be
I like
recycling
that.
some of the content already in your newsletter and blog posts, right?
Yeah.
But just like order them in a specific way, kind of like a mini email course or something. And if you have time, you could shoot a video with said content and
I
email
always
that
have
out.
time.
Huh?
Please. I always have time
You
to do
always have
videos.
time.
I freaking love doing videos.
You're getting into them now. I saw your latest one come out. Um, but yeah, I think that could be really cool. Like if
Dude, I like that.
you,
So,
you basically repurpose the content in the newsletter, put it on video, 5 minutes or less, and send that out a couple times a week.
would I charge?
I think it would be a great thing to do free
Okay.
as a email building thing,
Okay.
as well as a people who are on your list who are dormant. They
Yeah.
could they get to watch your videos a little more than just kind of like, here's a newsletter, here's some tips,
Yeah.
um, and maybe get to know you better than they do, and maybe start to like you in a way that they could see working with you as like a coach, because you do the
Hmm.
personalized
Okay. I like that.
experience.
Email strategy. I need to think about that.
And call it a challenge.
Yeah.
That's
Email
what the things are.
challenge.
It's the start your New Year's off right challenge, and you could do
Okay.
like the first 5 days. Here's the time.
Yeah.
You could do the first 5 days of the new year. You could do once a week for a few weeks, but it could be a great way to engage.
That's a good idea. I think the 1st through the 7th would probably be solid. And I
Hmm.
can probably have all of that, like, that email campaign completely set up before the new year, so I wouldn't even have
Oh
to
yeah,
work on it,
just
you know?
auto. But
Yeah.
yeah, make sure you got a landing page where they can sign up for that specific list in your.
I
What
think
are
I
you
can
using?
build that in
Active Campaign,
ClickFunnels. Yeah, but I
ClickFunnels,
think I can build the
the
um
page.
the
Yeah,
landing page in ClickFunnels.
sure.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Hmm.
And if you build it in ClickFunnels, you can also just include the upsell right there in case,
Ooh.
like sign up for the challenge. Oh, do you also want this?
Yeah. And that's another thing I have to ask the coach that I'm currently working with. So, there were phone calls that we were on, but it wasn't like a sale over the phone kind of thing. She has
Hmm.
like a landing page where there's like a Stripe thing and you just pay online, and then you're like a part of the course. So I
Hmm.
thought that was a really interesting approach rather than trying to get someone to commit on the phone, because for me that always felt so schmutzy, a little bit unnatural, you
Hmm.
know? So I feel like this aligns a lot more with the genuine approach that I'm trying to take and like the authenticity because
Yeah.
everything, not everything, but like some of the things I've been doing feel like schmutzy. They just don't align with me. I don't want to feel salesy in the least bit. I want to give you value, value, value. And if you find it valuable, awesome, let's work together, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Like anytime you're like doing these sales hacks, it feels like you're a used car salesman versus uh, sales should just be in, informing people, right? This is what
Yeah.
I got. This is everything I know about it. Do you think that's a fit for what you want? If it
Yeah.
is, here you go. If it isn't, no problem. I'm gonna go tell someone else about it.
Dude, she said it so eloquently today. She
Better
said,
than that, I thought that was very eloquent.
sales is an exchange of energy.
Ooh,
So yeah, it was a little bit more eloquent.
I don't know. It's kind of woo woo. Whatever.
You're from New Mexico, man. You got to embrace it a little bit more.
Nope, nope. I'm not from northern New Mexico. Come on.
Well, you're like literally central.
Exactly. We're centered
Oy.
in central New Mexico. Thank you.
Um.
Or at least I am. I can't speak for everybody.
All right,
Anyway,
Josh.
goals.
Tell the good people your goals.
My goal, after all that rambling I did earlier, I would say the way to succinctly do it is I'm going to absorb, um, but to do it in a way that's measurable so that you can donate money to the American Nazi Party if I don't do it next week.
Excellent.
Is I will say I've got four now courses, now that you mentioned that Enneagram one, that I'm in the middle of or have access to.
Nice.
And they're all from very different parts of my life: music, JBit, podcast course, podcasting, etc. Um, so my goal is to complete one of them, but I'm not going to say which one because I want to see what I feel like doing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. You're kind
What's
of
your
rolling the
goal?
dice this week.
That's right. That's
I'm
right.
digging it. My goal for the week is to have a clear plan of what I want to promote in 2021. Um,
Excellent.
and kind of just map that out over the next week
Excellent.
because I there need to be different facets of the business and things that bring in small amounts of money, things that bring in larger amounts of money,
Yeah.
and I need to map that out a little bit better for myself. So that's my
Yep.
goal for the next week.
Great. Cool. Awesome. Well, Unstuckers, this is episode 98. That means we're two away from episode 100, which
Ah,
is, from what I've seen, that's like a nice big round number, and people usually do something like special or something
yeah.
when nice round numbers happen. So we're gonna do something special next week for
Woo!
Casual Friday.
Cue party
So
music.
cue party music. We've got three special guests from podcast past. Three of our favorite guests will be back, and we will be talking about New Year's goals for our own businesses. And it'll probably be a longer Casual Friday. We're going to have a our mini mastermind is going to be more regular sized mastermind, and we're going to have our first unstuck roundtable.
I'm so
So
excited.
yeah, me too. So get ready for that. Get stoked, and we'll see what happens next Friday. We've never done this before.
You called it the people from podcasts past, and that initially went to like the Christmas Carol of
Yes,
like the
they're gonna teach
Scrooges.
us the meaning of Christmas, Chell.
Excellent. I figured that's why we brought them back.
That's why we brought them back. Well, one of
Okay.
them's past, one of them's present, one of them's future. Technically speaking, but we do have
They're
three guests,
all they're all technically from the past,
and
technically.
they're gonna be the present next week. And right now, they're the future. So, boom.
It was excellent. And on that note,
Ooh,
that's a
that's a
wrap
good
on
note to
Casual
end on.
Friday. If you have a question for Casual Friday, shoot us an email at unstuck.institute@gmail.com or hit us up on the gram at unstuck.institute. And if you haven't already, download our free PDF of the life book, not life book,
First
to
day,
keep the
so
ball
only our
rolling.
first episode.
To keep the ball rolling on your own productivity, get the life book today at unstuck.institute/lifebook. Get it before the new year, guys, so that you can get your shit together before the new year starts and have a clear mind for 2021.
Oh yeah. If you're like
You
most
know,
people and you're a calendar year goal setter, like January 1st, good time to do it. So
download your life book today for free. Okay.
free.
Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye.